question. We'll just go from there.
All right, my question is this. On Formerly Known, you had a lot, well, not a lot, but you had some underground with New York sound, what some people call that. But some people view that sound as like dead now. What is your thoughts on that? Or like it's like played out, or why do you still use it?
I'm from New York. It's embedded in me. And yeah, I mean, music just rotates. And so East Coast is going to be the new sound coming up again. Southern stuff is going to die away. It's just going to keep rotating.
Okay. Apart from Formerly Known, what can we expect from this album that we hear you working on?
Me doing some progressive hip-hop stuff, so records that really change, they take you on a journey, you know, musically. And then also just trying to tackle some topics that I think have been, don't go there, don't say that stuff. So yeah, a lot of transparency on the record as far as on my part. I think that's my way of being able to connect with both Christians and non-Christians really well, is through transparency and showing my need for Jesus, and not necessarily preaching at people, but letting them into my life and seeing how the gospel changes me, and then hopefully that will overflow into their lives.
So with that being said, so you've been in Reach for like 1 or 2 years, right? About 1 year, right? Mm-hmm. How has your creative process changed from being before Reach to now that you're in Reach, where their music is like high level? How has your creative process changed for making music and albums?
Yeah. Well, I always thought I made high level music because I always wanted to function in excellence. I think that there's no mediocre passes we can give for Christians, which is something that we do often. We let people get by with mediocre stuff because of their content, and so we have a common bond, which is Jesus. And so if it sucks, we're not like, it sucks. We're like, oh, it's cool, he loves Jesus. So I've always kind of had that on standard for myself, to always push myself to musical excellence. But being around the Reach team has just enhanced it, which means now there's more people on deck, more hands to help achieve that excellence in a shorter period of time. So for like example, for In My City, I recorded it, made the beat with other dudes, recorded my own vocals, mixed it. I did everything, but it took me 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Now you can get that same quality in 2 weeks because more people are hands-on, more resources, you know? So definitely just, they fanned the flame that was already there, which is really dope.
I'm Charlie with WXOU Radio. Just knowing a little bit about your background and your history, man, how has that impacted you in the lyrics you write and just with your personal life today? Your testimony.
Yeah, man, all of our pasts affect our present and future in a tremendous way. I think, I mean, if you're referencing, you know, single parent home.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I personally grew up in one too.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, man, that shapes a whole bunch. It shapes the way that what you think about God. Mm-hmm. You know, your earthly father will give you a perspective on what you think about a heavenly father. And so just having community and gospel-centered friends and, you know, people to push me back, to remind me to the truth of who this Father is, this Jesus is, really gives me a renewed perspective, and it helps me balance in my music, talking about the realities of real personal struggles and then the hope that I actually have in a heavenly Father. So yeah, I think it all affects every part of my music.
Andy, in regards to just speaking to the generation in particular, saved or unsaved, what does it mean about being a light in a dark world?
What does it mean to be a light in a dark world? Man, it means so much. I mean, I think it means being distinct but not being self-righteous. And I think that that's just one aspect. But distinct as in, man, I might not look like you or act like you in particular ways. Right? I'm distinct. Like, in a world of darkness, the way that we live, the way that we love, the way that we forgive is distinct. It's why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't benefit. It doesn't seemingly benefit you. But at the same time, knowing that even though we're distinct, we want to offer a hand of grace, not a fist of self-righteousness to other people, to say, man, I've been transformed. This is why I look different. And the hope is that the God that transformed me can transform you. And by no means am I, in any sense, better than you or ahead of you or in better graces with God. Does that make some sense? Like being a distinct individual by the way we live, but also saying that distinctiveness comes from God transforming our hearts, not from us being great people.
What can you tell the young people that are trying to be next Christian rappers or writers, or young people that want to serve the Lord in music?
Yeah.
What is something encouraging that you can tell them?
Yeah, man. Have fun. Build a community and a team around you, and be faithful to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Try to fight the idol of finding worth or value in the music or the wide acceptance that you receive from people. Yeah, and I think so many people, I've run into so many people who are like, I want to be signed to Reach Records, sign me, then I'll have significance, you know, like then I'll be really put on. And it's so mind-boggling to me to think like why people run up to us and just say, hey man, if you put me on, then I can finally do something. And they forget that they have their own resources, and they can start their own movements, and they can rally their own group of people and cast vision and be their own leaders, you know what I'm saying? And they don't need anyone to just put them on necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Like before KB got signed to Reach Records, he had His Glory Alone, and that was a group of young dudes in Florida who were serving Jesus, making him known, leading Bible studies, rapping. They had their own movements happening, and Reach just saw that and was like, wow, that's dope, let's help fan that flame. Before they signed me, they saw me with God Belongs in My City and the prayer walks and different things happening, and me leading, you know, where I was at. And they said, man, that's dope stuff. So I think if you wanna be a great rapper, artist, singer, you know, build up a team and create movements and impact people's lives outside the music. And I think that'll speak loud for the independent artists now, as most independent artists do. They all have their own movements, you know. Wiz Khalifa, Taylor Gang, all these guys, they got their own movements behind what they're doing.
We only got about another minute. Just want to explain briefly just your cartoon concept and your vision behind that.
Yeah, Saturday Morning Cartoons, man, was just a 4-week series I did in the month of May 2012 that I took some of the records that really shaped the way that I viewed the world growing up and my favorite hip-hop records, and I wanted to go back and give them new life by taking the music that I love, but adding a new perspective that I've gained since I've grown up from those records. And we documented the whole thing, the creation process, and got to give away free music to people and let them get in on how we created it. And it just came out really cool, man. AndyMineo.com has all the episodes there, and you guys can go watch them and see how they turned out.
Cool, brother. Thanks a lot for being with us today.
Absolutely.
God bless you, man.
Thank you, Andy.
Absolutely, man.